Beauty comes at a cost, and sometimes it's more painstakingly pricey. Whether it's actors wearing claustrophobic costumes or downright impractical fashion fits, it's never easy. So, let's look at some of the most painful costumes worn by celebrities that made them incredibly uncomfortable. RoboCop. We simply can't talk about iconic movie suits without mentioning the RoboCop suit.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Especially the one Peter Weller wore. While it's a symbol of awesomeness, behind the scenes, it was an entirely different tale. The suit was so tight and heavy that Weller was losing 30 pounds of water weight every day. Plus, it faced quite the wear and tear, needing constant fixing. It took more than 4 hours just to get him set up for action shots. The helmet of the suit made it practically impossible for him to hear anything. That's the real grind that went into being RoboCop. Bale Batman suit. Who doesn't know about Christian Bale? He's a top-tier actor, and is Batman? Legendary. But even the Dark Knight had his share of problems. That slick bat suit? Yeah, Bale wasn't exactly comfortable in it. Because the thing was tighter than tight, he would have headaches almost always. Ouch! But wait, there's a twist. Bale, being the method actor he is, took those headaches and used them to channel his inner Batman.
What I do, that defines me.
Pretty cool, right? Turns out, even headaches can't stop a determined Dark Knight from giving us an unforgettable performance.
Killing is making a choice.
Rebecca Romijn. Although on screen, her transformation into Mystique was quite seamless, in real life, it couldn't have been worse. Romijn's transformation into Mystique wasn't just makeup, it was a marathon. For 9 hours, she had to stand, sit, and lay down so that the team could apply makeup all over her body. And it wasn't just blue paint. Oh, no. There were prosthetics involved as well. Just take a look at the painstakingly long daily makeup routine. I can't imagine how cold she must have felt in between shots. It was definitely tiresome. But she still gave a performance of a lifetime. Henry Cavill. Arguably one of the best, if not the best, Superman ever. And although his suit got rid of the underwear problem, Cavill ended up facing a much more pressing challenge. While donning the Superman suit, Henry felt very uncomfortable because of how tight it was. It was also made out of foam latex, and that gets hot.
And a little hot at points.
And that wasn't the only issue as well. Have a look.
As I got bigger as well towards the end of the movie, it sort of became more and more uncomfortable, and sort of the pressure was more vacuum-packed.
He also started to put on muscle as the movie progressed, which made it a lot tighter for him. I mean, can you blame him? He's Superman. But Cavill just barely punched his way out of this.
What are you smiling about, Captain?
I just think he's kind of hot.
C-3PO. Oh, Star Wars, a franchise loved by many, and C-3PO, one of the most beloved characters ever. But Anthony Daniel, the actor inside the suit, had a different story altogether. An uncomfortable one. It was practically impossible for him to move with the suit on. It was heavy, and there were no moving parts. His movements had to be robotic, but that made it difficult for him to move around with the suit on. He would constantly fall over while filming. Although he called it a sensory deprivation tank, he still enjoyed the role, but not so much the suit.
We seem to be made to suffer. It's our lot in life.
Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson's portrayal of Black Widow is among the finest, and the secret sauce? Well, it's no cakewalk.
Stay down.
She confessed that the iconic suit wasn't exactly top of her favorites list.
I mean, who wants to get into something like that? You just think, oh God, really? Couldn't it have sort of a little peplum skirt or something like that? I mean, this thing is so there you are.
It was a tad too revealing, like stepping out nearly naked. We totally understand Scarlett, but that was not the only thing that was a problem for her. Scarlett confessed to never hitting the gym before this role, so there was a lot of rigorous training just to be able to fit into that tight suit. But aren't we glad that she did? Because a universe without her would be incomplete.
Hey fellas, either one of you know where the Smithsonian is? I'm here to pick up a fossil.
It's hilarious.
TMNT. Half my childhood was spent watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the other half was playing with them. But even I didn't know just how challenging it was for the actors in the suit. The actors inside the turtle suits had it rough. They begged the director to just give them a breather from their headpieces. That's how unbearable it got.
I'll be good. I'll go right back in. Just let me take the head off for 5 minutes.
Suits were hotter than a pizza fresh out of the oven. I'm talking seriously hot. I mean, can you imagine? So while we were enjoying the turtle adventures, they were in a different kind of challenge. Turtle sauna mode. Cowabunga indeed. Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman. The best catsuit ever. Loved by all and hated by none. Well, maybe by Pfeiffer herself. Why? Well, the suit was entirely made out of latex, which meant it was bone-crushingly tight. It was also vacuum sealed, which would give her extreme headaches, and she felt as if she would suffocate in the suit. Oh, the trials of being a cat burglar in such a setup. Moving around was a challenge in itself. But lo and behold, Pfeiffer, the fantastic actress she is, embraced the struggle and gave us the most iconic Catwoman performance ever.
How could you? I'm a woman.
I'm sorry,
A true performance, if you will.
Saved by kitty litter.
Apocalypse X-Men. Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse suit in the X-Men movie wasn't just a costume. It was practically a sauna. Seriously, the thing was scorching. It got so heated that they had to douse him with water in between takes. Imagine that, Apocalypse taking a breather with a water break. But that's not all. The suit wasn't just hot, it was heavy. A pit crew was needed just to free him from the suit. Talk about a high-maintenance outfit. Yet, Isaac somehow managed to go through the unbearable heat of the suit. Maleficent, Angelina. Most of us are familiar with perhaps the best representation of an evil queen by Angelina Jolie in the movie Maleficent. But how many of you know about the problems she faced backstage? Yeah, that's right. Even the Queen of Evil had quite the challenge while filming. Those horns she rocked? They came with a price.
The first few days you knock your head on everything and you feel very silly and very awkward.
She bumped her head everywhere. It's like a real-world blooper reel. Imagine trying to channel your inner evil queen and ending up having a tete-a-tete with door frames instead. It's a reminder that even the most glamorous roles can come with their share of comedic mishaps. Before we move any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. Kim Latex. The Kardashians are known for their over-the-top behavior. Whether you like them or not, you can't deny they are always in the spotlight. Kim, however, is always there when it comes to fashion, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Like this full-body latex suit. I mean, not only does it look uncomfortable, it looks claustrophobic. Look how she struggles to get even one of her legs in the outfit. Didn't she say she could squeeze into anything? Well, she is technically right, but suffocating yourself to get into something kinda defeats the purpose, Kim. But to each their own.
Yeah, that's the thing, you would actually do it.
Tim Curry, legend. Although fans see it as a cult classic, Curry has a different view on it. He had to go through a painful process of getting ready for the role every day. The process took 8 hours. 8 freaking hours! Of course, it wasn't just his face they were altering. His hands were also fitted with devilish nails and skin, with 3-foot-long fiberglass horns strapped to the top of his head. The horns were too heavy and had to be reduced so as to avoid straining Curry's back. Not the easiest thing to handle. But despite the challenges, Curry's performance turned out to be devilishly good.
We are all animals, my lady.
Jim Carrey, Grinch. Like for many others, he's my childhood hero. And his Grinch is the best. But much like the Grinch, Carrie was also very annoyed and frustrated by the whole makeup routine. It took more than 8 hours to get into that suit. The makeup was painstakingly slow. To make matters worse, the suit was made with yak hair, which smelled so bad that it nauseated Jim. He ended up being trained by the CIA. He faced so many issues during the process that he almost quit the movie.
And I told Ron Howard I couldn't do the movie.
But he managed to pull through, and boy, what a wholesome performance. Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is arguably the chillest man in the industry.
Elements of middle-aged panic.
But being chill doesn't always mean comfort. Ryan had his share of issues with the suit. Staff members would help him get into the suit because of how tight it was. Just see what he had to say about it himself.
I'm terrified I'll throw up in the mask or something.
You have one of those scratches that
There's nothing that can. There's no space in that thing at all.
Originally, the suit even had a muscle layer, but special tailoring was required because Reynolds' muscles basically bulged out of the suit. Not only was the muscle layer of the suit removed to let Ryan's own muscle shine, but that extra layer made it too tight for him.
Josh, it's really you. Hey. You're really in the suit.
Gal Gadot. Wonder Woman is not only strong, but very agile, and her costume is iconic on its own. However, Gadot, much like Wonder Woman, had to go through her own set of challenges. When she first tried the suit on, she almost passed out. Yeah, unbelievable, right? How could the costume department mess up that bad? They practically put her life in danger just for the role.
So tight, and I literally could not breathe.
Also, the suit wasn't exactly covering much of her, so she was mostly freezing during the scenes. But that made her go to the gym and get in shape for the famous role. Iron Man suit. Has anyone ever been more perfect for a role than Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark? I think not. With that being said, it wasn't exactly easy getting prepared for the role, especially suiting up. In the movie, it may have been seamless and satisfying, but in real life, however, it was a nightmare for Robert.
And I almost had a personality meltdown.
The suit was heavy because, well, obviously, it's Iron Man. It had to be made from metal. There was a lot of strength training with a suit that heavy. Yeah, you need all the muscle you can get. Sebastian Stan. Winter Soldier is known for his bionic metal arm, but over the years, it has changed, and for good reason. Stan had much difficulty working with the first metal arm. It was heavy and became a hassle to maneuver. He couldn't do his stunts or action sequences properly as it wasn't very flexible.
Was a really hard material, so I couldn't even, just getting it.
But to make it easier for Sebastian, it was eventually broken down to 2 pieces. It allowed him to move and be more fluid. The later versions of the arms just got better and better. Much easier to work with.
How much for the gun?
Not for sale.
Hey, how much for the arm?
Rakul Preet. Being uncomfortable isn't only a Hollywood thing, it also happens all the way in Bollywood. A new and upcoming actress, Rakul, the one in pink, was promoting her new film and something seemed utterly off. She was constantly adjusting her outfit and refused to even sit down. The actress was definitely concerned about any wardrobe malfunction. She was looking over her shoulder, trying to cover herself. Thankfully, nothing like that happened, but boy, did she look uncomfortable. She should have tried the outfit before coming here. Preet wouldn't have faced the issue then. Paul Bettany. His journey as Vision in the MCU wasn't all smooth sailing. Bettany faced his own set of challenges. The first issue was that the headpiece made it impossible for him to hear anything. And that suit? Well, it fit a bit too well. The suit would get hot, which would make him sweat profusely.
I can't hear very well because I've got this thing over my head, only this much of my own skin showing.
But the crew was visionary. So they fixed both issues, pumping ice-cold water through the hidden tubing to cool him down. And for the hearing dilemma, they crafted strategic holes in the head prosthetic. After all, even androids need a bit of fine-tuning every now and again. Doja crystallized. Well, if there's one thing Doja Cat gets right, it's her ability to catch everyone's eye. And that is exactly what she did during the Schiaparelli show at the Spring-Summer 2023 Fashion Week. She was covered from head to toe in 30,000 Swarovski crystals. Yeah, 30 friggin' thousand! Have a look at her glistening moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, it feels like I'm covered in stone.
It took her 5 hours to get prepared for the event. Not only is that a lot of crystals, but a lot of patience. But she succeeded in doing what she wanted to. Sam Smith Brit Awards. Would you sacrifice comfort for looking absolutely ridiculous? I know I won't. Bizarre doesn't even cut it. It was made entirely out of latex. The sleeves, the shoes, everything. Just looking at it made me sweat. I can't comprehend how hot Sam would have felt. Just take a look at the eccentric fit. How long do you reckon it took to get into that costume? Doesn't look as simple as putting on some socks. But Smith's night didn't end there, as netizens trolled the outfit choice all over the internet. And being completely frank, I understand. But hey, that's the choice they made. Andrew Garfield. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man wasn't very friendly with his own costume, and here's why. We're all familiar with Garfield's portrayal of Spidey, and I'm quite a fan of his version. In an interview, Andrew revealed how difficult it was for him to work while wearing the suit. It was too tight for him. He felt restricted. But the main issue was much more severe.
Yeah, something like a second skin, yeah.
Yeah, I can't quite picture it, but every day wearing a costume that's that restrictive? No thank you. But it is impressive how he handled it though. Would you wear this suit? Let me know down in the comments. Willem Dafoe. Green Goblin was always quick to take the neighborhood's menace down, but Dafoe's transformation into the Green Goblin for the movie was no quick change. It took him 8 hours to squeeze into that iconic suit. And that's not all. The suit was a puzzle of individual pieces that had to be meticulously attached, a process that took time.
Nobody knows how uncomfortable those costumes are.
And the mobility? Well, that was an entirely different issue. It had close to 0 moving parts, which made it difficult for Willem to move around and do his stunts. What an obstacle! But now he is glad that technology has made it easier. Nebula. Actors and actresses sacrifice a lot for a movie role, and Karen Gillan is no different. The actress behind the cyborg character in Guardians of the Galaxy had to battle her own struggles behind the scenes. Every day, it would take Gillan a whopping 4 hours just to get into the makeup and prosthetics of the character. And no, this doesn't include the costume.
It's not ripe.
Over the years, her costume has changed and made it easier for her. But imagine what it would have been like before. 4 hours for the makeup, and then another hour or 2 just to get into the outfit.
And you've won.
Lady Gaga Bubble. Gaga is perhaps more known for her eccentricities than her singing, although she's not a bad singer. But her fashion isn't quite everyone's cup of tea. And what she wore during the acoustic performance for her song left everyone starstruck. She was wrapped in bubbles. Yeah, bubbles! Can you believe that? I mean, would it be more comfortable for her to sit down with those? Like extra cushioning, perhaps? But it's Lady Gaga. She is known for odd choices. Throughout the performance, I kept thinking, what happens if one of those pops? Well, it's been more than 14 years, and no one comes close to this. Elizabeth Olsen. If there is anyone that did justice to their role, it's Olsen as Scarlet Witch. But what didn't do justice was the outfit itself. Elizabeth was very much against the designing of the suit to look like the comic book version. She despised it, and even had a meeting with the movie director about not keeping it. Not only that, her outfit in Infinity War was too revealing for her. She felt as if it restricted her, and she felt very uncomfortable. But luckily for her, in the next installments, changes were made to the costume. Katy Perry Burger. Okay, I admit this was more funny than uncomfortable. I mean, yeah, it's Katy. What did you expect? She was literally a burger going around the Met Gala ballroom. Wasn't easy for her to find a comfortable place to sit, but her buns sure would have helped. I don't know what more could be said about her choice here, so just look at her getting back into her fit. I think that's the only real issue she faced, to constantly get in and out of her dress because it was so uncomfortable for her to wear. Doja Cat? Cat. Remember the time when the world was struck by the fascination of being a cat? Yeah, Doja didn't let that slide. When she first appeared at the red carpet of Met Gala 2023, it didn't strike me as odd, but then she turned around and, my God, did that startle me. She had gone through an entire process of looking like a cat. Like, take a look at her yourself. She did not utter a single word even. Talk about being committed. To be honest, she looked more like Ari from Planet of the Apes, if you ask me. Leto Kitty. Okay, this isn't as bad as the previous one, but what worried me was the size of this suit. Jared had to wear such a huge catsuit in a room filled with other people. I mean, that just doesn't look comfortable if you work out the technicalities. It was made entirely out of fur and rubber. You guys know how hot that gets. I'm sweating just looking at it. No wonder he had to constantly remove his headpiece. And yes, this was also at the same event, the Met Gala 2023. Cardi B, huge dress. She may have been one of the last to walk the pink carpet, but she definitely wasn't the one who could have been missed. As soon as she made her entrance, everyone was baffled by what she was wearing. I mean, take a look at the colossal dress. It definitely wasn't easy handling it. No wonder it took an entire team to manage it. But that's not all. It took about 35 people over the course of 2,000 hours to prepare this dress. Yeah, 2,000 hours! That's like 83 days! So much time spent on a dress, only worn for an hour. Lil Nas Silver. I am sure Nas has a lot to say about his look, but I was too blinded by the shimmer to even look at him. From head to toe, he was covered in silver paint and silver jewelry. It was definitely something out of the Doja Cat fashion book, if you ask me. He even admitted he would be uncomfortable in this makeup. He looked like a cat that I'd never seen before, all shimmering with his ornate look. Even his teeth were silver. Good luck trying to eat something with those. Yikes, am I right? Katy Perry's Chandelier. She didn't attend the 2019 Met Gala. She practically set the pink carpet on fire with her illuminating entrance. Seriously, Perry was a living, breathing chandelier, complete with actual candles adorning her outfit. But here's the jaw-dropper. Those candles weren't just for show. Oh no, they were the real deal. I'm sure that fit posed some sizzling challenges. Imagine the discomfort, the heat, and the constant need to adjust her head. It was a balancing act in more ways than one. And let's not even talk about the hot wax potential. But she didn't come to blend in. Blacked out. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West didn't just attend an event, they became the event. During the Met Gala 2021, they strolled in, both dressed head to toe in black outfits. And when I say head to toe, I mean it. Their faces were completely covered by thick black fabric. It was like a fashion mystery unfolding before our eyes. But the thick fabric, of course, made it difficult for them to properly see through. Also, it would have been unbearable to breathe in. There was just something about the dress that made me feel suffocated. But what about you? How did it make you feel? Fat Thor. God of Thunder? More like God of Hunger. Chris Hemsworth is mostly known for his portrayal of Thor, but the fat version was a little off the scale. He had to put on a fat suit that weighed about 70 pounds, but the weight wasn't the only problem. Because it was made entirely out of rubber, the suit got insanely hot from the inside. I'm sure it was more of an issue than Chris leads on, because to do stunts, especially the action shots in the fat suit, and then another 40-pound armor suit. It's a lot. It's time for today's open discussion. Tom Holland, aka Spider-Man. Holland's journey as Spider-Man had its share of web-slinging challenges. Surprisingly, his first time donning the iconic suit wasn't the awe-inspiring moment you'd expect. Rather, it left him a bit disappointed. The suit itself posed hurdles. The thirst struggle was real too. With limited access, he had to channel his inner superhero and drink water through the eye of the suit. But that wasn't the end of it. Getting in and out? Not exactly a smooth endeavor. In fact, it took some inventive solutions. He used lube to get out of the suit, and a team helped him through it. Jennifer Lawrence, aka Mystique. Her portrayal of Mystique brought a dash of shape-shifting cool to the X-Men franchise, but behind the scenes, it wasn't so cool. The intricate Mystique makeup wasn't all fun and games. Imagine it, hours and hours spent standing while undergoing a complex transformation. The process wasn't a breeze. Layers of blue paint and prosthetics took their toll. She couldn't even go to the bathroom without turning everything blue. It certainly wasn't easy for Jennifer in the months it took to shoot the film. She was uncomfortable during the makeup process, and even more uncomfortable during the bathroom breaks. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.